Hi guys, welcome back to the Mommy and Me podcast. My name is Samantha.
My name is Elizabeth.
And today we're going to be doing the part 2 to losing my dad and the process of grieving.
Yeah, so we've kind of already talked about how we lost her dad. And so this part we're going to be talking about the emotions of grieving and what that's kind of looked like and how we've processed grief.
Do you know that
We're not fully planning on how we're discussing it. We're just kind of going with the flow because we want it to be very raw and real. So I think for me, my first cycle of how I processed things was denial. For me, it was just denying it, and the reason why I'm saying denial was because I just kept myself really busy. I want to say the first year or so, I kept myself so busy from the morning to the night.
Yeah.
Kind of, I talked about that in part one. So yeah, I kept myself really busy, and that's how I dealt with it on year one.
To be honest, I think I blocked that all out, so I have no idea.
You don't remember?
No, I don't remember the first probably just like sadness. Though I'm pretty young, so
yeah. I think for me, the next one that I think was the longest one was anger. I think a lot of my life after losing him, I saw myself being angry all the time and finding ways to grieve him that were unhealthy and were making the situation worse. And I think it got so bad for me, guys, that there was days that I would just ghost everybody. I would stop responding to my mom, to my siblings. I just stopped showing up to work. I would stop taking the kids to school.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think that was when I was like really hitting rock bottom. Like I was really struggling getting out of bed. And I think I lost a version of myself for sure during that time.
Yeah, that I think that all really affected us when you went like down that bad.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so all I remember really is my mom not really wanting to wake up. To the point where we would have to wake her up for us to go to school and be like, Mom, like we gotta go, and she was like, You're not going today, like I called out of work already. Or sometimes she wouldn't even call out of work. Like she would tell us that, but she wouldn't even call out. And I just remember being scared. Like it was just so weird because she was always like on us to be at like school and stuff, and then like we would just sit here like doing nothing. Like she would just be in her bed all day, like locked up in there. And yeah, it was definitely really scary. Like I felt like we were almost like losing like another parent. And yeah.
When you say you think that really affected you, and like, can you be a little bit more open about how did that affect your, like, what made you feel scared or how you dealt
I
with
felt
that?
like I was losing another parent. Like I had already lost one, and then like a year later I thought I was losing her. Like I just thought she was sick and stuff. We didn't really have anybody to talk to. Like I didn't feel comfortable telling anyone about this stuff. I wasn't really close to anyone, so I just relied on my brothers, specifically my older brother. I leaned on him a lot.
I think I definitely see that it affected you guys in the long run. It's probably still like something that they haven't really faced on, but I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of it was fear instilled in you guys also because I feel like I'm a very active parent. Like I'm always on the go. I'm always doing things. I'm always like go, 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 go.
She's always like on us. She always knows what we're doing. Like
yeah, like we leave in the morning, we come back in the evening. Like we have a routine.
Yeah.
And the minute that I'm not doing something, even as just if I would have called out, I think you guys would have been totally okay. If I'm still like, oh, make sure you guys are doing your errands or doing your chores or like whatever it might be. But I would like, she would legit just be in bed.
Like the house would be like crazy, like a crazy mess. I remember how like helping pick up because like my brothers wouldn't really do anything. They would just watch TV and eat. And I remember like, oh shoot, like it's getting really messy. And I remember the dishes piling up at one point, and then it just got so bad to the point where my grandma came and like she got my mom out of bed. I don't know what like we would have done if she never came.
Yeah, it would get so bad when these little like episodes would happen. It would get so bad that my mom lived 40 minutes away from me. My mom would drive over here to check why am I not answering the calls, why I'm not responding to messages.
Yeah, she would ghost everyone.
Like nobody is getting in contact with me. I'm 40 minutes away from everybody. My mom would drive over here, bang on the door, ring on the door. I don't remember exactly how she would do it, but then she would Next thing I know, she would be in my room, and she would be like trying to talk to me, crying for me to get it together, like that I have to push through, that I have to be strong for the kids, and all I hear was like fuss going on in the kitchen and the living room, like my mom's cleaning up, washing dishes, having the kids take a shower, pick up their stuff. And then my mom's helping me physically get out of bed and taking me into the shower. I don't know how old I was, but
I think you were like, I want to say 29, 30.
I think I was like 28, 29 when this happened. And my mom at that age is still helping me take a shower physically because I had no energy to even shower myself because of how bad my depression was.
You might have been 27.
Maybe, I don't recall the age, but I was in my late 20s, and my mom has to still help me shower because I'm I'm like doing so bad that my mom was like, okay, I need to help you get through it, and you're gonna get out of this, and you're gonna shower. Meanwhile, I'm gonna cook you some caldo de pollo. I'm gonna get the kids ready, and my mom would come take me food to the room. Once I eat a little bit, she'll make me come out to the living room, watch a movie with everybody, and then she would make my favorite thing, which was arroz con leche. Always makes me happy to this day when I'm like, it's my thing. Shanta hates it because she now she has to make it for me. But
Yeah,
that's how that's how bad it would get. Where I would just go. And it happened like not just once, not just twice. It happened like
it would
on
happen
and
frequently.
off for like 2 years. I want to say,
Yeah.
or like a year and a half, maybe something around there.
Yeah.
But it would get pretty bad. And I think that was the first time we realized how much I had changed as an individual and how much we were grieving and how bad the grieving was happening because I wasn't going to therapy. I wasn't doing anything. We were just trying to go through it on our own. And then that's when I think we started like, okay, let's go to family therapy together.
Oh, I remember that. That actually helped me a lot. I feel like I was just a really angry and like sad person. I just wasn't myself anymore. Like the happy little girl that I was before, like was completely gone.
Mm-hmm. And I don't remember too much of what we learned as a family there, but I do remember at one point, like, okay, we're going to grieving classes. Let's make something good come out of this. I remember we used to plan to go eat either before or after the sessions.
Yeah.
And we used to kind of talk about not necessarily what did you say, but more so like what did you learn? What do you feel? What tool did you take from it? And what can you share that might be insightful to the rest of the family? And I think that we did that for like a year, huh?
Yeah, I would say 8 months.
8 months to a year we did it. And this was with other families. So Samantha would go with kids her age.
Me and Justin were put together.
Because these are about almost the same age. Because how far apart are you and Justin?
We're like, it's like a 2 to 3 year age. Yeah, that's weird because of our birthdays.
Oh, yeah. So it's like about 2-3 years between you and Justin. So they would kind of be together, and then Fernando would be in a different group.
And then obviously you in your own group.
Yeah, but I think also it wasn't just grieving your dad, it was also grieving ourselves.
Yeah.
Like I was grieving who I was before versus who I am now. And I used to always tell myself, I just want the old Elizabeth back. Like I just want to be me again. I want to feel like that version of myself again. Yeah. And now, 9 years later, now I know I'm never gonna get that version back. But this is an elevated version of Elizabeth. But back then, I just wanted to be happy again.
Mature boss woman version of her.
But back then, I just wanted to be happy. And I think
you just felt like a pit, like it was gone. Like there was a big part of you was completely taken because you grew up with him basically. Mm-hmm. Like you guys both learned and like grew together, and then just one day suddenly someone just gets taken from you that you're so close to, like that you have kids with as well. Like that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. And for you, where do you feel like was your rock bottom?
My rock bottom. Wow. I think when I would like completely shut down and like stay in my room all the time, I think it got so bad to the point where you would like, tell Nando to be like, oh, like, no, you have to get her out the house. So I remember going on a hike with him and like, me and him were bumping like heads with each other a lot around that time. So I was just like, this is so weird. Like, he never really does this anymore. And he took me on a hike, and then after we went to go get like a smoothie and stuff. And it was just so nice. Because it was just like quality time. He pushed me like on the hike, and it was just like so much fun. But that's when I hit rock bottom. I was always in my room. Like I would shut down. Like when I'm going through it, I shut. Like people out, and I'll just be in my room, which I don't do often. I'm always like out and talking to people. I like always like doing something, and like I don't like being home. So the fact that I was just even in my room, like it was just really hard. Like it was just depressing. I just didn't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah, I think I for sure knew you had hit rock bottom because when you wouldn't come out anymore, and Samantha's always been a very crafty person. Something I love it. I love about her. She's always loved like painting or like she's just been a crafty person overall. And she loves doing anything with arts and crafts. And when she gave that up, when she was going through this, I think you were like,
I'd like do everything.
I think you were like 10, 11 years old when you were really going through it. And I think I got so scared because I knew that I didn't have it together either. So I wasn't like the backbone that you needed because I was also struggling. So you would hold a lot of it because you didn't want to worry about me because you were so worried about. For so long, you had to worry about me being okay that I think you would suppress a lot of feelings. Like, I don't want to add something else to mom's plate. And then you can correct me if, I don't know how you think.
I never think you paid attention to that. I felt like my older brother, he witnessed what happened with my dad. And he definitely went through it. He definitely got it. I don't want to say the roughest, but it like broke him. I want to say the most, actually. I think it broke him the most. Yeah, he's a completely different person.
Yeah, he had post-traumatic stress from it.
And like my little brother's obviously small still, who's younger, but I feel like I had to like step up and be like an older sibling and like just help her get it together. Like I would literally help her clean the house. I would just do whatever I could to make her feel better, like writing letters and stuff. I think that was one thing a lot, like writing letters to you.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you didn't realize this, but you were taking care of me. Like you became the parent in the house. Not that like I was still financially providing and doing what I would do, but what I would pretend I was okay in the outside world, but once I passed my doors, like I was,
it was so dark in here.
It was dark,
dark energy.
Like it was so dark in the house, and so I think Samantha constantly had to worry about me. So when she was going through it, I think she was trying to go through it on her own without really telling anybody what was going on. But I saw the difference in her. And then me and her, we wouldn't really talk anymore. Like we always started to drift apart.
Yeah,
we were always bumping heads,
always arguing.
Yeah, like she didn't want to hear anything that I said from her was like an attack mode. Even though I'm like, Samantha, you gotta clean your room. You can't keep having your room like that. And a fight would break out of that. But because we just wanted to be left alone.
My room was so depressing. Like there was always these everywhere. Like
you couldn't even walk in there.
Yeah, it was just like really bad. Like my clothes would be everywhere. Like I would just want to like sleep all day.
Yeah, so she was going through it, and I remember thinking like, I remember being so worried that I thought you were going to do something to yourself because you weren't talking, you weren't going out of your room, you weren't picking up your room, you weren't even taking care of Chloe. Chloe's her bestie, Westie from a long time. And so we even had to be taking care of Chloe, and that was not like her. Samantha's always like cried for Chloe. If you watched our old YouTube videos, you've probably seen how close Samantha is with Chloe. So when that wasn't happening, like I was worried, so I had to talk with her older brother. I'm like, I need your help. She's not. If I come and talk to her, she's not going to hear me out. Like we're just not at that place. I need you to step in and like help. Which sucks because he's a kid too at that age. He shouldn't have to be that. But what else did we do? We really didn't have. She didn't have a relationship with anybody else, and I knew if she heard it from her older brother, it was going to mean something.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, I'm worried about her too. Like I'm scared. What if she does something? Because she was no longer Samantha. Yeah. So I remember crying to him, and I remember crying and talking to him, and he was like, okay, I'll take her out. I'm gonna take her on a hike or something. She was also like, you were overeating at that time because that's why you were dealing with it, and so was I. So I understand where that comes from because it's a sign of depression. He was like, I'm gonna take her on a hike because it'll be something active. Like I know that's something we love doing before. So he that's always been our to go to when we're going through things. Like we love going hiking. So that's to give you guys some context to why you wanted to take her hiking.
We'll go hiking because we've been hiking. I feel like we're trying to hike more this year and be like, oh wow, they're going through something.
Probably, but also we've turned it around for a different reason now. But it just makes us like embrace and be thankful for life. I think that's why we like going hiking, because it's a reminder that
It just
we're
like
blessed
seeing
to be
nature and
alive.
stuff
Yeah,
is just like it's so just taking it all in.
peaceful.
It's just
So peaceful.
it's
So
so
then he was like,
calming.
I'm gonna take her on a hike, and then I'm gonna take her to go get tutti frutti, I think it was.
I did. I said something, but you're right. I remember he gave me the option between getting yogurt land and
Jamba Juice.
Jamba Juice. Yeah.
And Samantha's, if
I
you
love
guys ever
yogurt.
want a gift or something, this girl loves tutti frutti, yogurtland, all that stuff, frozen yogurts. So he was like, send me money and I'll take her go hiking, and then I'll take her to go get yogurtland or tutti frutti. I don't remember what he said, something within that.
I still remember
nature.
that whole day. Like,
So it was impactful.
Yeah.
So it was
that was so like
kind of turned the page for
yeah.
you. Like, I got to push it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how dark it got at that point. And then I think for all of us, we've all kind of changed who we were.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we lost a version of who. I think I tell the kids all the time, I think we all lost our version of ourselves, and we all, either evolved or we're still dealing with things. But I think we've all had to grieve each other. Like, I grieved little Samantha, I grieved little Fernando, and I grieved little Justin. Like, for Justin, I remember him always having like this huge smile. I don't really hardly ever see that smile or that giggle anymore. He was like the happiest baby ever.
Yeah.
And I don't see that very often.
Yeah, he's just really angry.
He's going through the being angry phase, and that's okay because we've all gone through that. But it's just helping him get the tools to not make the same mistakes kind of we made of, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why we're sharing this is because if you've lost a loved one, I want you to allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. If you're feeling angry, allow yourself to feel angry. But just don't hurt those that are around you. Get help. Because if you don't get help, it's only going to get worse. And then you're going to cause enough damage where you break the relationship between you and that person.
Yeah.
Samantha and I have come such a long way, because like we said, we were bumping heads for such a long time, and then we realized like, okay, we need to like work on it so we can build a relationship again. And so I'm sure 11-year-old Samantha, 10-year-old Samantha probably thought, I'm never going to get along with my mom again. Like, we just lost our relationship. I mourned that relationship for a long time.
Yeah, no, I didn't think, I was like so angry with her, like,
for a long time.
I just didn't think we were ever going to be close again.
Yeah, me too. And I think that now I'm thankful that we went through it, seeing back, because now we're closer than ever. Like, now, it's just a different relationship. Obviously, I'm her mom first and then her best friend second. But I think we've gone to the point where like we're balancing each other, and like sometimes we have our little moments and we give ourselves a break and then we come right back to it. But I think it's definitely come a long way.
Yeah.
But I think if you're struggling with mental health, I'm telling you that therapy does help a lot.
One thing is that like if you're first starting off therapy, don't do like Zooms if you're first starting off.
Yeah, and also be picky.
Happens like you happen to be getting that. But yeah, if you don't like your therapist either, like you can switch them.
You can switch them. If you don't feel comfortable, you feel like you're not bonding, you're not feeling that like chemistry, that matters, because you need to feel comfortable enough with that person you're speaking to, because you're giving them like the most intimate secrets, like stuff you don't even talk about with your loved ones. So you have to be able to get along with this person and feel comfortable with them. Yeah, they have to be like if this was your bestie you're trusting with, you have to feel that comfortable with that person. So be picky. And then definitely if it's your first time, don't do it via Zoom. I started therapy doing it via Zoom right now, but I've received therapy in the past, so I know what that feels like.
Yeah, definitely in person's.
Yeah, in person's better. So I'm hoping that right now there's like a lot of like shortage on therapists, so it's hard to get them in person. But eventually, the goal is for us to be able to go in person. That's just, we're trying to get the insurance to clear all that stuff out. But yeah, and then I think just allow your loved ones to know that you love them. You're there as an emotional support. Luckily, I feel like now, like I know I could count my siblings, things go left, like we hit rock bottom, they step up and they help me out when I need it. I think she knows the same thing. Like when things get really, really tough and she calls them, they'll drop everything in a heartbeat, be there for her. But I think also we grieved each other because we've all lost a version of ourselves as a family.
Yeah.
Like with my oldest son, I'm grieving the version of old him, and now accepting him for who he is now. And that's kind of been hard lately too. I won't go too much into details with that right now because, he doesn't choose to be on this podcast or be talked about. And then also with Justin, like I can only be like I can only talk about certain things because he's not part of the podcast.
Yeah, it just
So it's it's just violation of privacy. I feel like, but I think for us recently, what has helped a lot too is we started going to church.
Yes.
Okay, so let me give you guys some quick context on this. I used to be a Christian when I was little. Then I was Catholic. Then we started going to Christian school for Christian church and Christian school for a while, or Christian Bible studies, I should say. And then I'm not sure what had our parents fall out from that, but then we stopped going. Then we turned back to Catholic for traditional reasons, I guess.
To get baptized and stuff like that.
I think it's just tradition. We would just go back for the traditional things, but never really go to church. So I don't know why we ever already said we were Catholic, but whatever. And then as of recently, we started going back to church. But it was a Christian church. For me. Yeah, it's about to be her 1 year anniversary. For me, I think I've been going for 7, 8 months.
I want to say 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so I went a little bit after you, huh?
Yeah.
So, okay, so it's about to be a year, but I feel like now that we're going to church, it's helped so much. It's helped me so much, guys, and so much clarity has come to my life, and I never thought I was going to be that person.
Yeah, me either. I used to, hate it before, but I think it's because Catholic, I'm not going to, say, I'm not going to, hate on it, yeah. But, it was just, really boring to me. This is, my opinion. It was just really boring to me, it just felt like you were just sitting there and there was I think yapping.
I think because with Catholic church, majority of the time they're big
on and
they're big and
but they're very nice.
There's no one-on-one.
But they still talk to you, Christian and stuff. I'm saying they still talk to you. Yeah, no, they don't talk to you. It's just so big.
They're so big. And with Christian church, it's been more personal, more family oriented, where you feel like it's
more hands-on, you do more things, events and stuff.
You actually grow relationships and build relationships with the people that you're getting involved with at church. So I think that's made a huge process, and I've learned to allow things that I cannot control.
I see our church, as family now.
Yeah. And I think
another
for sure. And I think now I'm the things that I can't control. I'm God, just take the wheel, or you know what, God, show me the good. And I trust in God. Now I find myself saying these things.
So
I never thought
we were so against it. Going to a church and stuff, and now it's so crazy. We're so oh my God.
Yeah, and it's not. I'm not trying to push religion on anybody, but I'm just saying if
it helps
to maybe give it a try and see if it helps you. It's not my form of therapy, but it's my form of clarity.
Even starting off Bible studies.
Yeah. So it's been super helpful. So, just use whatever outlet you can to, process your grief in a healthy way. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest take back from today is to please process your grieving, allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to feel angry, allow yourself to feel sad.
To feel angry,
it's okay. And even if if you wake up on Monday and you feel great, take that energy that you can. Yeah. And if you feel sad on Tuesday, allow yourself to feel bad on Tuesday. Give yourself a day to be, a baby, and then put those big boy pants on and then take on life the next day. Yeah. Don't allow it to continue to drag on, because once you allow that and you allow yourself to get into that dark hole, it's so hard to come out of it, guys. So give yourself a day. Say, you know what? I'm giving the next 24 hours to cry as much as I want. And then I'm going to move on and keep going. And then even if it's a day on, a day off, a day on, a day off, at least until you're able to normalize your schedule, your routine, and process your grieving. But don't feel bad for crying. Don't feel bad for being angry. Don't feel bad for being sad.
It's okay.
It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
Literally, it's okay to not be okay. And one thing that I learned when I was grieving is when people used to always ask me, "Are you okay? How are you doing?" I'm good. I'm good.
I think one thing, when people tell you when you lose someone, it's gonna be okay. No, don't
say that. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to hear that. Just say, "I'm sorry for your loss. I'm here for whatever you need whenever you open up." It's gonna be a hard process, but know that I'm here for the journey. Don't ask someone, "How are you doing?" if you don't really want to hear the truth. Yeah. That's my thing, because that's such a loaded question. That's a good thing, actually. It's such a loaded question. Don't ask that if you're not willing to hear that person out. Just don't say anything. Just, just be like, "I'm sorry for your loss," and then walk away, Or don't say anything at all. Pretend it didn't happen if that makes you feel better. But don't ask If you don't really want to hear, don't ask. If you don't want to be those ears or that shoulder for someone to cry on. I think that's my biggest thing. Because I had to say I'm okay for such a long time that I started believing that was okay when I clearly was not. But sorry, guys. I'm just trying to be like really real with how we felt. And there's so much more to grieving, but for the sake of the video, we're gonna keep it short. Yes. And we do apologize if we're a little bit more like on the tired side today, but we came from church and we had other things going on today, so it's been a long day. But we wanted to record this podcast to make sure that we post on time. Let us know, give us your feedback on the quality.
Yeah, our last video got over 1,000 views. Did you see that?
Thank you guys. Thank you for watching it. Thank you for liking it. Please comment, give us feedback. It honestly makes me feel like, okay, it's worth it.
And just like the video, because that helps.
Yeah.
Or just sharing it and be like, sharing it to someone like, oh, like, I like this.
Don't forget to subscribe or follow if you're watching on TikTok or you're watching on YouTube. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. For me, again, just remember that it's okay to not be okay when you're grieving or going through anything in life. And then for you?
I want to say this. Younger kids have feelings. That's all they have to express. Like, just pay attention to the signs.
Mm-hmm.
Because
what kind of signs do you think?
Sleeping all day is not normal. I know you may be tired, but there's a reason why you're so tired. Hanging out with bad group of friends, like, it says something like you're reaching onto that because you're just seeking for anything. Just the little things.
I think secluding yourself from family.
Under-eating. Yeah. Actually, I feel like a lot of kids do that. I feel like just a lot of kids just don't like being around family, so I'm not gonna say that one.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Overeating and under-eating. That's another sign. Just always ask your guys.
And signs if they start
how are you doing? Yeah, check in on them.
There's reasons why they're doing it as a coping method.
Yeah.
There's always a reason.
Kids that are young also deal with mental health issues.
Yes,
let's normalize that, please. And that's okay. Let's normalize it. It's not taboo to talk about. Talk about it with them. Get them the help that they need, whether that's church, whether that's therapy, whether that's going out, giving them one-on-one dates, whatever that is. But just listen to them out. It's true. Kids have feelings. We're learning that, as what we've gone through.
Helps express your feelings.
Yeah. Samantha now loves music. I love music. Hopefully we'll go to a concert this year that we can talk about.
Yeah.
Earlier you kind of brought that up. But so we hope you guys take something from this, and we appreciate all the love and support you're giving us. And we'll see you on the next podcast. On the next episode. Bye.